The biggest shocker in the book, I guess, we have the real hook, is what really happened with Paul and I, and that how we got to a point where not only did I leave in '97 after 5 years with my baby there, but the angle he came up with, because at that point in '97, that locker room was completely different. For years, one of my biggest sources of pride was the fact that we had a locker room that everybody came in from outside, from the bigger groups that would say like, "I've never seen anything like this." It's like you're like all banded together, like you all like really want. I go, "Yeah, we're the little engine that could." We want to go after the bad guys, the big guys. That WWF was force feeding you cartoons, man. You're watching cartoons of the wrestlers, and they're acting like cartoons in the ring. WCW, they were floundering with their product. It was unwatchable. And we had a locker room that was just. I mean, I remember Hawk coming through the dressing room, curtain one day from the ring. And he goes, "Oh, what's going on?" Because everybody's huddled around the monitor in the back, little 12-inch monitor. So what's going on? What's going to happen? We said, "Nothing's going to happen." He said, "Why is we huddled around the monitor?" Because we all want to watch each other's matches and try to get, the guys were trying to help each other and help themselves. It was like it was a team. That had never been done, I guess, apparently, in a big league dressing room before. But it was. These guys were a team. How they all wore jackets, baseball jackets, matching jackets, ECW jackets. Again, guys for the big leagues had never seen that before. And Funk had his on, I'm saying it wasn't like just the young boys who were marks. Everybody was together on this. Come 97, Paul had taken over in 95, I guess. That locker room was fractured. It was out of nowhere. Now there's cliques. There's the New York clique. There's the quote unquote Philly clique. There's the Taz clique. I guess he had his own clique. So, you know, it was just a different locker room. And there people were trying to get out of there. I mean, I had Sabu and Fonzie and Sammy coming and going, "Can you do anything for me?" You helped Public Enemy out, which I did. I helped Public Enemy get a deal with WCW. Because I always had an attitude. It was one of the places Paul and I used to butt heads. That these guys had like busted their asses for us, like $300 a night. Sabu broke his neck making $500 a show. Now they're getting offers of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm like, guys, by all means, take it. Are you kidding me? Look at you. You're half broken down now, and you're young. Grab that money. And he felt that was a sign of disloyalty. If they would ever leave to go somewhere else, they're dead to me. I said, dude, like, he broke his neck, literally, in the ring. He's got a chance to, like, make some money for the first time in his life. How do you begrudge somebody for that? Not to take anything away from his abilities, that guy was a goddamn genius. He was amazing. So please don't take this as a, hatchet job on him. I'm just talking about in terms of the legacy of the company and myself and what really happened. That's what I'm telling. Uh, no way do I diminish anything he did or accomplished and his abilities or what he did. It was how he did it. There was the issues.
Yeah, and before we leave that particular subject matter, did you think at the time when the company was on its last legs and supposedly Mr. Heyman indicated that he was negotiating another TV deal after the disastrous Nashville Network fiasco, and then he showed up on Raw, and the some of the individuals that you've even mentioned were shocked to see that. Were you at all surprised by you use the word duplicitous, and I think that really applies in that instance if the version of events historically is accurate?
Well, again, not being there at that time, so had already removed myself after '97. They went out of business in 2001. But of course, I still always talk to the guy, and then they call me. He says he's going to LA to make a movie for EC. I go, or he's going to LA to get a TV deal. He's not going to LA. He's home. I just talked to him. Don't buy it. I'm saying just go as long as you can, do the best you can. But if you stop getting paid completely, then something's going on. Now it came out later on that Jim Ross did a book, tell-all book where he said that they were feeding him while I was still there, like $50,000 per month, like to keep the company alive. When we were dying monetarily, and it was tough because we got into some bad situations there, I didn't know what it about that money. I was the boss. And then Paul, also the DVD says, I never got paid for what I did. I worked for free. And that's true. He would say over and over again from day one when he first was there, he said, I'm only here for a couple of months. I'm going to go work with Jim Crockett, put together the WWN, this big deal. It's going to be great. And I'm only here for a couple of months. Let me bring in a couple of guys who nobody knows yet. Jason, the sexiest man on earth, the Public Enemy. Let me see if they're capable, if I can groom them to come with me to the new group. I was fine with that. That way you don't have to pay me. Well, after that Crockett thing fell through, pardon me, even though he presented it to me as, you know what? We walked in one day, he goes, guess what? I said, what? He goes, sit down. I said, I am sitting down. He goes, I'm ECW all the way. Fuck Crockett. Done. I find out like a month later that Crockett had folded 10, like 4 to 5 weeks before he made that pronouncement to me. But that's great. That's ballsy right there. Like, I'm yours. I got to do this with you. Yeah, that's the fact that you had no other alternative at the time.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the